you can look at the call up of Parker Meadows as an indication of keeping Kerry Carpenter as kind of a more of a DH role, where you can put Riley Green in right field, Parker Meadows in center, who made a really good play the other day where he just showed his impressive speed. And even that, I think it was a double, he turned into a triple or whatever.
Yeah.
Extra base hit. Yeah, that's the kind of presence that Meadows is going to be out there. But Kerry Carpenter, 2-WAR player, and he's done that in 285 at bats this season. And I mean, considering he was injured too, Uper, it's becoming more not just a facade. This is not a was it Brendan Bosch?
Brendan Bosch, sure. We've had a lot of them like that. You know, the other day I compared it to, and I'm feeling him more and more. And this has nothing to do statistically. I mean, they bat different. I mean, Kerry's a lefty. JD Martinez was a righty. But just the sense, forget the numbers. I remember when JD came on the scene and he just kept producing and he kept wondering, well, okay, he was kind of a ho-hum guy in Houston, right? But he kept hitting and he just kept hitting and he came back the next year and he hit some more. And then we found out, you know, he went to see somebody and he changed his approach and he made significant changes. And now we see Carpenter came up last year, produced. This year has produced, and now he's starting to really produce. I mean, he's become a force. And now we see the article where he went to somebody and made some changes and didn't accept who he was and looked to become better. So I'm just getting the same vibes from him. I hope it stays that way. Obviously, we all do. But I think I'm torn if he should be a DH or if they just need to carve out a spot in the outfield and just make him get better.
And look, Cooper, like I said, there was a throw last week he made, or the week before, where he gunned down somebody a second. Carpenter's improved. It was against Minnesota. He's improved defensively. I mean, I think he's holding his own right field. He's not going to embarrass you. It's not like it's like the same thing with like kind of Justice Bigby, where you can make the comparisons right there. Well, don't make me laugh too hard, Chris. Because
sorry,
no, it's all right. But go ahead. As you were saying,
I like that comparison. I mean, you know, it's tough because JD Martinez turned out to be so damn good for so long. But it definitely, I remember my pinned tweet for a reason, right? I didn't think JD Martinez was going to play in the big leagues for very long, and then he just kept hitting home runs. He kept hitting home runs, and there's also kind of that flair for the dramatic. That like Kerry Carpenter, again, it reminds me of the early 90s. It's like, oh man, they're man on base. Kerry Carpenter is up. He's going to do something good. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't do it every time, but boy, he's done it a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
All year long. And even go back to last year, occasionally we hear about Torkelson and how hard he's hitting the ball and something good's going to happen. We never get a lot of numbers put to it. Jay Jaffe was at Fangraphs. I don't know if you saw the article. Pretty good article on him. Mm-hmm. Talking about how he's pulling the ball more. I did not realize he only pulled the ball 21 times last year in the air. That was shocking to me. Oh. I would have guessed that. He's already over 50 this season. So he's probably going to end up near 70. I mean, close anyway. So he's made a huge change there. But I was struck by the numbers, the barrel rate. Last year, he was in the 56th percentile on barrel rate. He's up to the 91st percentile now. Hard hit rate, he was 61st percentile. Now he's 95th percentile. Exit velo, he went from 78th to 93rd. So, you know, the numbers bear it out. It's just not a feeling that we all get. Oh, he hit another one, 108 and got an out. It's happening. And it's just so nice to see some of the production follow now where we don't have to hear the chronic bust complainers, you know, oh, so what if you hit it hard? Well, okay, there's something to it.
Yeah, and at the very least, I think even if he, you know, goes ice cold again or whatever, we get the sense that, okay, this is going to be a player who at times will be able to carry the team. Even though I think I've seen, I want to say Robert James actually had a really interesting stat that Tork is like 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position this month, despite all the home runs. He's not getting them with men on. But, you know, that's maybe he's trying too hard. Maybe it's just bad luck or whatever. But yeah, like, you know, I don't think we have to worry about him being an epic bust anymore. He might not ever be MVP, like all-star even, but
you might be Reese Hoskins.
He might be Reese Hoskins. Although, yeah, as you point out, you asked, how many barrels does Reese Hoskins have? And Hoskins has never had 50 in a season. So Tork, and really, like, I don't think Hoskins has ever hit 30 home runs in a year. He might have once. So it feels like Tork is getting to that point where, like, he could be a 35 plus home run guy. So really nice development there. And
yeah,
I read that article. That was a good article. How well is Torkelson hitting on those barrels? He's got 2 singles, 14 doubles, 21 home runs, and 14 outs. That's a 725 batting average and a 2,235 slug on the barrels. Pretty good. But I do think that's actually below average in terms of batting average on barrels. I think the average is like 800. But so right along the lines of what we've been talking about, my inside number is 32. 32 is the number of home runs the Tigers have hit in August in 21 games. So it's a little bit more than 1.5 per game. They've got 7 games left. If they stay on this pace, they will end up with 42, 43 home runs. And I was looking it up, and they have not hit 40 home runs in a single month since 2008. September of 2008 was the last time the Tigers as a team hit 40 home runs. And you have to go back to 2000, June of 2000, in Comerica National Park to find them hitting more than 42, 43. They hit 44 that month.
Wow.
So, yeah, like I said, this is a lot of fun because we haven't seen this in 15 years. So, yeah, enjoy it, and hopefully they keep hitting those dingers.
Yeah, remember this is a team last year that we were looking at. It was historically bad in terms of offense. Historically bad. Could not hit the home run at all. Meanwhile, Cleveland, who signed Eric Haas, and immediately put him. I think he immediately started in the starting lineup too, I believe, as well.
And batted 5th.
Yeah, they are among one of the league worst in home runs as a team. This is a team that went out and signed Bell. I thought it would work out, and it did not. So, but yeah, it's astonishing to see the Tigers in terms of even get this kind of offense. So, ELB, new person, thank you for the $9.99.
Yeah.
Off the Frickers building. Exquisite.
Much appreciated for that.
Andy Ibanez with those 2 homers the other night. That was out of left field for everybody.
Yeah, I like your comment, Uper. He's sensing the DFA season. He's like, nah, not today, Satan. Not
and
today.
that was it's funny because it was like a classic, like, AJ Hinch, what are you doing? He batted him second in that game, right? And then he goes and gets 2 dogs off, smiling like, oh, all right, good for you. So, yeah, let's like, so I think Carpenter has 9 home runs this month. Torkelson has 8, and then it's like Badu has 3, Green has 3, Rogers has 3. Like they're getting it. I mean, it's the 2 big guys, but they're getting them from everywhere. So even Eric Haas had 1. It did in Boston. So